morning, everybody. How are you? The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon. Good morning, sir.
Shut up, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. Oh my God. I've missed you so much. Welcome to the show, Wise Up, Rise Up show. With me, your host, Danny Wallace. I am sorry. I have been MIA. It's been a week since we've done a show. And even then, like that last week, it was a little bit sporadic. There's been lots going on at IATQB HQ, not least of which the fact that I have been a little bit poorly. So for anybody that's anywhere else other than in the northwest of the UK, poorly means poorly, means I've been a little bit ill. I don't know if you can tell. It's not as bad anymore, but this side of my face is a little bit like, I don't know, lazier than the other. Good morning, everybody. First of all, thank you so much to everybody who has been in my inbox and sent me love and has offered help and who's just been supportive. And I just want to send you all a huge cuddle. Thank you to my clients who've shifted things around. Thank you to my team who have completely had my back, who've said, look, Danny, you drop everything right now. We've got your clients. I'm just surrounded with the most amazing people. And somebody said, the way that you are, Danny, is reflected. And for everybody that works with me would know or should know that should I be needed, I'm absolutely there 100%. And this week, I definitely needed everybody to have my back. And you did. And it was amazing. Sometimes I struggle to receive love, or I not struggle to receive love, but I struggle to sort of accept help or even ask for help. So the very fact that so many of you have rallied around, even just by telling me that you're there. So some of you have been like, hey, Dan, I'm here to support in any way that you need me to. Just knowing that if I was to need it and you're there, it was enough for me to think that actually, is the world going to fall apart? The answer is absolutely not. Not for the sake of a few days rest, which is absolutely what I needed. Full disclosure, last week, so not this week just gone, but last week was a pretty intense week delivery wise. So I was up and down the country. It has been pretty intense for the past 3 years, but particularly the past sort of 3 months, it's been very, very, very sort of labor intensive, everything that I've been doing. First world problems, hustle mentality that I'm trying to divorce myself from. I find myself when stuff is feeling wobbly that I throw myself into work. It's the hustler. I think Natasha Bray would call it the hustler saboteur inside of me. I'm trying to kind of sort of tangle myself from the feeling that if I'm feeling fear, then I need to work harder because the fear is that everything's going to be taken away from me. All of this sort of stuff. It's all deep-seated stuff. But so last week was really like labor intensive, paired with I spent a lot of time away from my family, paired with I was doing some really deep work, paired with things were a little bit, again, full disclosure, without sort of oversharing, things were a little bit difficult indoors with me and Wallace. Like we had to take a little bit of stock, or we're having to take a little bit of stock with regards to where we are. Having a partner that is successful and that is incredibly driven and is firing on all cylinders all the time, forsaking all others, him included, is difficult. And that's something that we've been sort of managing on the inside without sort of sharing too much. And that's been really difficult to navigate. And you'll be pleased to know that we're seeking help, and we're really trying to pull together and, make sure that the kids are looked after, make sure each other's looked after and all of that. So there's been that happening in the background, paired with the stress of that sort of accumulating and manifesting itself in physical ways. And as many of the wonderful members of this community, particularly those that are centered in the wellness industry, will tell you, your body keeps score even when you don't. So your body will hold on to things like trauma, will hold on to things like all of this sort of stuff, and then when it becomes too much, it will spill out. And that, I think, is exactly what's happened. That I have, again, oh God, I'm going to spill my guts, and hopefully it's going to be helpful to some of you. So years ago, I contracted the herpes virus, and the herpes virus you can get via a cold sore, you can get it as an STD, you can get it through there's all sorts of ways you can get it. There's a varicella and the herpes zoster virus, so the herpes virus. When I was in a relationship, I contracted the herpes virus, and it manifests itself to this day in lots of weird and wonderful ways. And that's because I got a virus when I was 19 that damaged some of my immune system. And so now, when I come into contact with somebody with a cold sore or somebody with chickenpox, and as most of you will know, I've had chickenpox just a couple of weeks ago. When I come into contact with anybody who has active herpes infections, that could be zoster or varicella, it doesn't matter which. And obviously, that's not me shagging about or anything like that. That could be someone with that's carrying an active virus on them. It could be somebody that has got a cold sore and I've given them a cuddle and they've caught me. It could be somebody who's carrying the chickenpox virus, much like Ivy was. So there's lots of ways that this kind of shows up, but it shows up ordinarily, and this isn't ordinary, in a set of blisters. I don't know if you can see, there's some scarring just here, in a set of blisters on my arm. Really weird, right? But this is some of the weird things that my body does. And I'm telling you this for a reason. So under stress, or when I am working really, really super hard, when I am juggling lots of plates, which is, as many of you know, a lot of the time, shingles, yeah, exactly. And that's what this has been this time. It's been like an extension of shingles. So the virus will manifest itself as a massive cold sore on my arm, right? Weird, but true. So I had a little test done, and they do like swabs and stuff. They're like, oh, it's a herpes virus. Oh, brilliant, great. Herpes on my arm, fab. So this shows up. I'm not contagious, PS. If anybody's like, oh, Danny, we don't want to hug you now, you're a bit strange. I'm going to tell you these things because I want to make sure that I, A, show up with no shame, and B, this might be helpful. These aren't things that we talk about. It's not something I've really talked about openly before. So it shows up. You can see the scarring. It comes up in pretty much the same place every time when I get run down. Next time it comes up, I'll show you. Anyway, last week was very, very stressful. So we were looking at Me Too, and not from sex either. No, that's a misconception. Anyway, so last week I was overworked, and because I really wanted to deliver for my clients, and that everything I do comes from this place of really wanting to deliver super high quality for everybody that I come into contact with, paired with some work that I was doing as part of the Tony Robbins Wealth Mastery situation. There was a lot of deep work, a lot of uncovering stuff that was going on there. So tired body, emotional stuff going on. And then things were happening indoors that had been bubbling up underneath that meant that I needed to make a swift exit from that. I couldn't see the 4 days through. Came home after 2 days to come and see to what was going on at home. And that was really, really, really stressful. And some of you may have seen the post that I put out on across the hive and on my personal profile that I was going to be taking a step back this week from social media. I needed to process some stuff, and I absolutely did. We did as a family. There's still lots to unpick. And that really took a physical toll. And so the virus that ordinarily manifests in a weird way started to manifest in a really weird way. So Monday morning, I woke up and this side of my face had like really dropped. It's not so bad now. You can still see that there's still sort of a slackness at this side, but I thought I'd had a stroke. I thought I would die in. So I went to A&E. Went to A&E. And they were, they looked at my history. Some funny things happen when I've been pregnant. Each time I've been pregnant, where I've lost. So it's I don't know which way around you can see me, but this is the right side. No, what side is this? I get right side numbness or get right side like lethargy. This is the left side of my face. I don't know which way around you can see me, but this side is my right side. And they went back through my medical history. They were like shit off a shovel, actually. Huge shout out to A&E at Preston, because they were like, so we don't think that this is particularly neurological. We think this is nerves. We think this is specifically around this virus that you have and the way in which it manifests itself. We believe that this is something called Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. And this is where you will pick up the virus, or the virus will be activated. In this case, it was like shingles. And that will cause inflammation of a nerve in your jaw. It's going to make your face spaz out, which is exactly what happened. And I was very, very tired off of the back of it. Rest is the only way forward. They gave me really high dose steroids straight away, really like high dose antivirals straight away. They gave me some ointment for my eyes. One of the ways that they can tell that it's this Ramsay-Hunt syndrome is that there's blisters. So there's some blisters on the back of my throat, but there's blisters in my eye, at the back of my eye. So it was really scary. It's been a really scary week where my body has said, oi, enough. And not just, oi, enough, you're going to get a bit of a cold, but oi, enough, we're going to make it look like your face is melting. So hopefully you're going to take some notice. And you will be pleased to know that notice has duly been taken. My team have been phenomenal and really rally round this week to strip back or reschedule things or to space things out a little bit for us to do some work that is going to allow. This is actually really exciting. Lorraine, I never do anything by half. It's not painful. The eye isn't painful. I'm not sure why the eye isn't painful. Throat a little bit. Face isn't painful at all whatsoever. It's just slack. It's like when you've been to the dentist, but there's no numbness. It's just trying to smile is a bit difficult. And it got me to thinking. So lots of rest this week. We've negotiated stuff, moved stuff around, all that sort of stuff. But actually, it's born some really interesting conversations around what can I do, or what should I have been doing but haven't done, because I've tied myself so much in physical personal delivery that is going to allow me to still generate income, but not put me under so much pressure twice a year. So I only open the doors to work with me twice a year in terms of like launching. So I have only like 2 one-to-one spaces at any one time, because I don't like to overface myself or my client. I like to really focus on my client. So I don't take on a lot of one-to-one. So the best way to work with me is via Be Inspired or Be Heard in the short form, or the most accessible form. One of the things that I teach my clients is you need 3 sorts of products, right? 3 sorts of products. One is a low value, high volume product. So something that isn't a lot of money, but you can sell lots and lots of it, right? If you have the right funnels and stuff. And a lot of this I've learned from people like Lisa Johnson, Dan Meredith. Lisa Johnson particularly, especially in sort of one-to-many. But because I so love in-person delivery, because I so love live delivery, it means that I have negated to create evergreen and digital products, because I've just not placed an emphasis on them. But actually, it leaves me a huge amount of space in the year, either side of those 2 launches, Be Heard and Be Inspired, where people could be working with me, even if it's in a self-study capacity. So what me and the team have now done is create space in my diary for us to film some evergreen and digital products for you, especially if you can't afford like the £6,000 that it costs to work with me and be inspired, or, you know, the £1,500 it is to work with me in that Be Heard Pro capacity, or the, you know, £700-800 it is to do Be Heard, that we are actually creating some products so that those of you that can't yet do those things that I know is on your vision board still allows you to work with me. So actually, not only is it benefiting me in terms of it's still allowing me to pull my business through, it's still allowing me to create space and breathe in space, so it's not sort of like this all the time. It's allowing those of you that say, Danny, I really want to work with you, I just can't in that capacity right now. It's going to open up so many more opportunities for you to work with me. And that makes me so, so happy. So there's 3 sort of levels. There's low value, high volume. And I don't mean low value in terms of what you get, because obviously, you know, I mean, you're turning up for free this morning and I'm telling you stuff, right? So you're always going to turn up in my world. I'm always going to give you the most value I possibly can, right? Energetically speaking, and from an information education point of view. So low value, high volume, something that is low in terms of cost, but high impact, and that I can sell to lots and lots and lots and lots of people. Then there's medium value, medium volume. So then that's that kind of course program midsection for people who want to work with me and do those live courses or those workshops and all of that sort of stuff. I want to do some of that in real life stuff with me. Then there's high value, low volume stuff. So that could be like one-to-one work. You've seen like BVIP, for example, where we go over to like Bardolino in Italy and we do 4 days intensive over there just in a one-to-one. All of these sorts of stuff you don't even have to sell, just take on money. Oh, Natalie, you're so kind, thank you so much. It's been really humbling this week to see so many of you really rooting for me in lots and lots of different ways. It means the world, but it also has been a very, very timely point in time for me to go, all right, I'm not serving as many people as I could be. That's the crux of it. And in doing so, in not serving those people, I'm harming myself. Isn't that funny how that works? Like, I want to set up so that I can help more people. That's what I teach, right? Reach more people, make more money. So or have more impact. Like those 3 things: reach more people, make more money, have more impact. And in not reaching as many people as I possibly can by having the right things set up in my business, I'm hurting myself and I'm hurting my family. And it was a real revelation that these are the things that I need to stop and make time for, instead of being lost in the busyness of my business and being lost in the treadmill of it. So actually pressing pause to go this week has been really necessary. I had this exact conversation in the hub. Yeah, Nat, absolutely. You're very loved, whether we know you personally or not. Thank you so much. And I feel it. I really do. I really feel it. And I'm so, so grateful. I've got digital on my list. I need to crack on and make them. And here's the thing that's been stopping me: perfectionism. And here's the kicker of that, is that I show up for you 3 times a week and every day elsewhere in complete imperfection. I show up in complete imperfection, in perfect imperfection. I share with you consistently that you don't have to be super polished, super scripted, that you can speak from the heart, you can be authentically yourself. It's really hard not for me to get emotional about it, because I realize that I have not been, even though I like to walk the talk as best I can, that I've not been walking the talk where this is concerned. A lot of this should have been done a long time ago to have prevented a lot of this from happening. And all we've done is clocked it so we can move it forward, right? Shift the dial, right? Always growing. But for me, there's a bit of guilt and a bit of shame and a bit of beating myself up for not having done these things sooner. And I know it's bollocks. So I'm thinking about all these digital products. I want them to be the best, right? Everything that I do for you, I want to be the best. I want to be the best I could possibly deliver for you. So I know that when you work with me in a one-to-one capacity, you're getting all of me. If you're working with me on Be Inspired, you're getting the best team I could possibly get my hands on. You're getting the best, you're getting the best videographers, the best photographers, you're getting the best coaching. I'm constantly learning, trying to give to you the best teaching that I can give to you. And then when I think about digital products, pre-recorded, I want to make sure that we're in a great setup with great light and that it's scripted properly and that I can do all these things. And actually, I just need to do the thing and stop wanting it to be perfect, because it's going to be good. It's going to be good anyway, because it's me and I'm dead good at what I do. And I'm a brilliant public speaking coach, and I am brilliant at helping people understand things in a really relatable way. So what this has allowed me to do is to really throw into the bin all of that sort of perfectionism and realize that I'm good. And I want you to take a little bit of a second today and think about that for you. Not think, oh, Danny's dead good. I mean, do, because I am. But I want you to think about that for yourself. What have you been putting off because you've been waiting for the right time, or you've been waiting for it to be perfect or the right setup, or you've been telling yourself that you can't do it until? I had to wait until I realized I could clear my diary so that I could do these things, to make sure that the short-term impact is going to pay off long-term dividends. I was talking with me and Deep Badger will have a business mastermind, a sales specific and marketing mastermind. We'll be opening the doors to that, by the way, in June, July. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It's called Amplify. But we was talking to one of our amplifiers yesterday, and she was talking about taking on, much the same way I did, gigs that paid, like, I don't know. See, I would take a singing gig, for example. She's incredible, high end luxury, floristry, events production, all of this sort of stuff. And she would take on a birthday party that wouldn't pay as much as, say, a big wedding in the short term. Free weekend, take a short term like party, take a smaller value party, for the sake of that kind of quick injection of cash. However, if she spent the time doing the things that we were setting her, she would be being paid out bigger on the other side, because she'd have a team set up around her. That team would be able to install those smaller parties and so on. And she would be able to take on those bigger weddings and coordinate those bigger weddings. It's like that for me. If I can free up some of this busyness of having to be present all the time, or feeling like I've got to show up in perfection and all of that sort of stuff, if I allow myself the short-term investment in my time, because it's not even the money now, short-term investment in my time, that's got to pay off dividends in the future. And I've got to invest now in future Danny, not just immediate Danny, even though immediate Danny and immediate business needs tending to. So we've got to find that right balance. So this next couple of weeks is about that kind of taking stock, implementing what are the digital products that we can create, sharing them, opening up those real working funnels that need to work within a business, so that we've got that passive and semi-passive income that I am fully aware of, that I am fully educated in. I just haven't been implementing it. So I'm speaking to you right now. If you have been doing things like one too many and not been implemented, pull your fucking finger out, because you're going to end up poorly if you are not doing these things. You're so under your value. We don't need Danny's idea of perfection. You are perfect. Things, but thank you. You could give a shit in a carrier bag and it would be the best because it's you and we show up for it. You lot of stuff here. This is so easy for all of us to do, though, not following what we help others with. We're only human. Yeah, absolutely. But one of the things that I pride myself in is delivering. One of the things that I pride myself in is making sure that I'm, trying to make as big an impact as possible. And that's spilling over into Fly Anyway Foundation work. So as well as filming all the digital products for IATQB, we're going to film all of the digital things that need to happen in the Fly Anyway Foundation so that we can move that off of the ground. So creating that space has allowed us to do that. So here's what I want you to think about today as I begin to put my makeup on, ready to start filming, is what do you need to stop in order to start? That's been the question. I need to stop being so busy and pay attention to my family. I need to stop being so busy and create digital products to prevent me getting as busy in future. I need to allow myself to rest so that I don't get sick. What can you stop in order for you to start. I went to Atomicon in October time, and there was this guy called Drew Davis. He was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Please do go and check him out. He's wonderful, wonderful trainer, coach. He helps people become speakers. Like I've got his book, The Referable Speaker. He's amazing. I always make sure that I surround myself with experts in my field as well as experts in the wider field. And there's 3 things that you can do. You can kill it, contract it, or keep it, right? So kill it means you stop. So have a look at all the things that make you busy in your business. Like, oh, I've got a blog. I've got a blog that I need to do. I do this blog. You've not written a blog since November. So why is the blog on your to-do list? Kill it for a second. You don't need to think about that blog for a second because you're not even doing it anyway. You're just taking up your own bandwidth with it. Kill, contract, or keep. So going through all of the things that we need to do, I need to understand, what do I need to kill, what do I need to contract, and what do I need to contract out, and what do I need to keep? What is everything in the business as efficient as it can be? Are we spending where we don't need to spend, for example? Are we, is all of our efficiencies within the VA method is being inspired effective? And the answer is, once we take ourselves out of busyness, no. So what do we need to do? We need to spend some time having to think about it. So that's what this week has really allowed me to do. And hopefully you watching this and watching me go through this will be a premature wake-up call for you, so that you don't like, oh God, I don't want to happen to me what happened to Danny, where your relationship is suffering, or your kids are suffering. Not that the kids are suffering, but your relationship is suffering, or your bottom line is suffering because you're so busy that or you think yourself so important that you can't contract anything out. Oh, I can just do everything. What can you kill, contract, or keep? What can you stop to start? And they're all the things. Yeah, I don't want it to be so that it's your health that is being impacted. I don't want anyone to be showing up with the melty face because they made themselves so busy and so self-important that the world wasn't going to turn if they stopped. It's bollocks. It's not true. What are these fallacies? Although there is the reality that there's still a lot of clients that, I know I say a lot of clients, not within the realms of my ability, but there's still a lot of clients that I'm serving. There's still, 2 masterminds, 1 main mastermind, and we've got Amplify as well, which is I'm doing that in conjunction with somebody. I also have my one-to-one clients. Like, there's a lot of people that I'm serving. How do I still serve them and look after myself? And sometimes it's pressing pause to go again, which is exactly what I've done this week. So there we go, my darlings. That is the show at Wise Up, Rise Up show this week. These are the things that I want you to think about. These are the things that I want you to consider. I also want to know, what are you celebrating this week? Let me know in the comments. Let me shout you out. What has been good for you and your business this week? Please do tell me in the comments. What are you celebrating? What's been great for you? Shout out your team members if a team member's been shining for you this week. Shout out your clients if a client's been shining for you this week. Huge shout out to the gorgeous Louisa Herridge and her team from the Ashes she is ignited. That book went to number 1 in 11 different categories. Absolutely champion effort from Lulu and the team there. Huge shout out to Abby Horn, who has just, at the same time as I've not had a chance to shout her out yet, did their most phenomenal launch. And we launched at the same time, and we had this fantastic live together where she called me out on my bullshit. She could see that I was getting tired. She could see that I was hiding. She could see that I was harboring some stuff. I needed to do some work. She actually called me out on a live, like, Dan, in a loving, kind friendship. I'm doing an intervention kind of way. Like, you're not even bigging yourself up right, Dan. You're not even telling people in this reluctance to receive your flowers, you're not showing up right. Stop. Like, tell people the good things that you do. Tell people how incredible it is to work with you. Allow it. Joe Gilbert, you've had a busy week. I've had a week off from one of my jobs. I got my 4th #1 bestseller. Congratulations, my angel. And moved back to Lanzarote. That was a quick pit stop, but I totally get it. I can't wait to come over to Lanzarote and be in the sunshine with you. I did the Power of You boot camp, and it has helped keep up the momentum on putting myself out there and being seen on social media, combined with Be Heard Pro. I'm slowly getting there. Carla, I cannot wait for your one-to-ones on Be Heard Pro. We are going to rip it up. I stopped hiding and put myself out there, and now I'm looking at doing a slot. We'll manifest this year at 1 o'clock. I'm going to be going live today with the incredible Jodie Salt from the organizer and founder of Will Manifest, which I'm going to be speaking, by the way. It is a great way to warm up for Be Inspired. Tickets are still on sale for Be Inspired. P.S. You can host a table. So it's £1,000 plus VAT, and you can split it between 8 of you. So we're going to be announcing our venue next week. I know I was meant to announce it this week or last week, but as you know, things have been a bit awry. But we'll be announcing the venue next week. Very excited about that. So if you are going to host a table, please let us know. You and 8 friends, get yourselves together, and instead of £234 for the 2 days, it'll be just £150 for the 2 days for you all each. So why not do that? Get in touch. Let me know. What else are we saying? Lisa interviewed me for a podcast. Oh, congratulations. It's a great podcast. It's a great podcast. Lexi had some great orders, and it's her 24th birthday tomorrow. Congratulations to Lexi. My biggest win is being quoted in Stylist magazine around the cost of living. You've been in the press this week, Sarah Park. Congratulations. It has been absolutely wonderful to see so many client wins this week. We've had TEDx's go live. So Lizzie Jackson Barrett, Sarah Turner's TEDx's are now live. They've posted those in the Hive. You can go and watch those. Please do. They are phenomenal. What else has been going on? Loads of you have been in the press. We've had people in Forbes. We've had people in yours. We've had people in all sorts, all over the place. Television appearances, #1 book selling launches. Like, you lot are powerhouses. And if this isn't you, get in my inbox and come see about working with me so that you can become more visible, so that you get the guts to go and do these bloody things. I'll be doing a live 11-week program, officially 2.5 hours, teaching non-techies create courses on WordPress, packing it. Amazing. First actual live program. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So many people need to do. But I was going to say, I didn't think Lexi I thought she was only 13. She's 14, not 24. I was like, wow, have I been in the DeLorean this week? Have I gone into the future? What else are you celebrating this week, you lot? Let me know. Let me give you a shout out. If it's your birthday, feel like it's Blue Peter. If it's your birthday, let me know. Let me shout you out. I am currently putting my makeup on for filming, so I'm going to be sort of getting dragged up a little bit. Some great news for the show at Wise Up Rise Up show is that we are going to be sort of hyper curating our lineups, so that you're going to know well in advance who's going to be on the show and when, going back to having like a roster, going back to guest applications and things, so that you're getting the best quality and the most diverse lineup I could possibly give you. Whilst we've been focusing on business stuff, it has been majority me holding the fort, but we are going to be making even more of a thing of the show in the not too distant. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Some really exciting conversations happening in the background. In fact, just yesterday, has anyone been watching Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls? Has anybody been watching that? Let me know in the comments if you have. Watch Out for the Big Girls has been one of my favorite things on the TV in a long time, about Lizzo on the search for dancers for her tour. Knowing a couple of people have already danced for Lizzo here in the UK, both Trina Nicole and Queen Mojo, both of whom have spoken on the Be Inspired stage. It was really lovely to see that kind of dancer process. Love Lizzo, love the show. Well, I've been having a little conversation with Jayla, who is on the show. She is the phenomenal trans dancer. She is just wonderful. Big girl, trans dancer. She is phenomenal. She's amazing. So I've been having a couple of conversations with her to come and get her on the show and come and have a conversation with her. So when we start to curate that lineup, that's the kind of quality and caliber of guest I want you to start expecting. So we're going to be in touch with as many people from different backgrounds, different businesses as we possibly can, to bring you the very, 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 very best in inspiration, motivation, and education here on the show at Wise Up Rise Up Show. Right, that's it for me for today. I am gonna go. I'm gonna go and finish putting my makeup on like this. I want to finish putting my makeup on. I will shoot some behind the scenes stuff for you for Instagram. If you don't follow me already on Instagram, please do at the Queen Bee Danny, and I'll give you a cheeky little follow back if you follow me today. Thank you to everybody who's had my back this week. The whole team have been amazing. Kathy, thank you for having my back. Anna, Danielle, Wallace. Thank you to everybody who has been in my inbox. I love you. You are phenomenal, incredible human beings, and I'm a very, 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 very lucky bee. I will see you on Monday for more Showing Up, Wising Up, and Rising Up. See you later.